What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today's topic, the complete car history of the Dodge Magnum. This is a one-generation car which ran from 2005 to 2008. The Dodge Magnum got its name from a long discontinued 70s Dodge vehicle which was built on the classic Chrysler B platform. The new Dodge Magnum was released in 2004 as a 2005 model year vehicle. The Magnum was built on the Chrysler LX platform, which it shared with the Chrysler 300 and the Dodge Charger, with which it shared nearly every component with the Magnum. This car was built outside of Toronto, Canada, for its entire run and marketed for those who wanted the excitement of a Charger with the practicality of a station wagon. The Magnum was fairly successful in its short run, reaching over 160,000 in total sales. Because this car was a 4-year single-generation model, the real differences between the models are in the different trims. All model years are almost identical, aside from the 2008 models, for which Dodge did a slight facelift to. Similar to the Charger, the Magnum was offered in 4 trims: the SE, SXT, RT, and the SRT8. Each trim had large differences in terms of power, with each one having a unique engine as well as transmission and drivetrain options. The lowest trim level of the Dodge Magnum is the SE trim, which has a small 2.7-liter V6 engine putting out only 190 horsepower through a slow 4-speed transmission. This engine had many problems, most seriously oil sludge and overheating problems. It took this pathetic 4,000-pound vehicle nearly 9 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60. Keep in mind, that's slower than a 2008 Honda minivan. To make matters worse, the SE came standard with 17-inch steel rims, which were so ugly I wouldn't even put them on a wagon. Luckily, most were upgraded to a more appealing rim before being purchased. Perhaps the only positive about this trim is its comparatively high gas mileage at 21 city and 28 highway. I wouldn't be surprised to find a Magnum SE for under $5,000 in the used market, because people in the market for a Magnum generally want nothing to do with the SE. The next highest trim is the SXT. This one is a little better. It still has a V6, but this time it's a 3.5 liter and puts out a much more enjoyable 250 horsepower through the same 4-speed auto. The SXT reaches 60 miles per hour in just over 7 seconds, which still isn't great, but much better than the SE. This engine is also much more reliable than the SE, and many can be found with over 200,000 miles. The SXT did come with the option for all-wheel drive, which came with the 5-speed manual that came standard on the RT and SRT8 models. The MPG did go down a bit because of the bigger engine, but 18 city and 24 highway is acceptable for a car of this size. The standard rims were much better on this model, but that's where the appearance upgrades stop. Nearly every non-powertrain feature of the SE and the SXT are the same, and they're not too impressive. The SXT on the used market is pretty similar in price to the SE, leaving no good reason to buy the SE over the SXT. The next highest trim, and the first with a V8, is the RT, which stands for Road and Track. The engine in the RT is the classic 5.7-liter Hemi V8, which put out 340 horsepower through a smooth 5-speed automatic. This engine won multiple awards in its nearly 20-year lifespan and is still used today in the Dodge Charger and Challenger, as well as the Ram 1500 pickup truck. The RT was also very quick for its size thanks to the Hemi, reaching 60 miles per hour in 5.5 seconds. The gas mileage on the RT isn't bad, with 18 city and 25 highway. Along with the power upgrades, this trim also came with beautiful 18-inch polished aluminum rims, nicer seats, and a fantastic 6-speaker sound system. The RT is a bit pricier than the SE and SXT, but you get much more with it. For around $10,000, you're able to own a spacious 300-plus horsepower muscle car, which seems like a pretty good deal to me. The final trim of the Dodge Magnum is the SRT8. This absolute beast of a car had a massive 6.1-liter Hemi V8, which produced 425 horsepower through the same 5-speed automatic as the RT. The SRT8 had a 5-second 0 to 60 time and crossed the quarter-mile line in 13.1 seconds at 108 miles an hour. But with great power comes terrible gas mileage, and that's no different for the SRT8, getting only 13 miles per gallon city and 18 highway. Those models were also quite fancy, with 20-inch forged aluminum wheels and premium leather seats throughout the vehicle. If you're sitting here thinking, oh, this is a cool car, I think I want one, good luck, because a lot of people feel the same way as you. To find one of these, you'll usually have to go through a specialty dealer, and you'll see prices over $30,000. So what happened to the Magnum? In 2008, Chrysler discontinued 4 models, including the Magnum, in a massive restructuring in which they cut over 10,000 jobs due to the Great Recession. They introduced the Dodge Journey to fill the midsize crossover segment, but that car is such a heap of garbage it's truly an insult to the Magnum. Its muscle car spirit still is alive to this day though, with the 2020 Dodge Charger RT containing many of the same internals as the old Magnum RT did, just without the classic hatchback. Well folks, that's going to be it for us today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.